Welcome back, guys. In our last video, we went through our factory and redid a lot of our power lines to make sure that we had an actual shut-off system. We isolated each of the individual rooms to their own shut-off valve, and now we actually have a lever that we can turn off our entire factory. The video turned out great. If you want to check that out, just hit the little video icon at the bottom right corner. That being said, we're going to get into the video today. We're going to be working on our overflow lines to get this factory back up and running. If everything goes good, there should be consuming enough power that it's actually going to shut down our whole power grid, which doesn't sound like a good thing, but it puts us in a position to require more power for our next video, which is probably what that's going to be about. I did do some work over the weekend to kind of try to get some stuff done that I was talking about. I redid our highway system. So originally we had this little part up here that was just kind of bringing in all the plastic, rubber and stuff for our factory, but it made these lines that ran through the center of this, and I really didn't like it. So I went through and I built a whole highway system that kind of wraps around, and it ends up over here where it's able to actually run through our transfer line that goes to the center of our manufacturing room. So if you guys want to see a video on this, I'm not really trying to do a video on it. It's just something I wanted to get done in the background. But if you want to see it, if this video can get to 10 likes before Friday night, I will do a video about this. So if you guys want to see that, just like down below, and we're gonna get into the video. All right, so we're back in our storage area here. It's got a little bit of a facelift. I had made some changes to it, just kind of get it set up ahead of time, so I'm not trying to do this during the video. But I moved everything that I did have over to these. This is just random stuff that I've collected throughout this whole process over here. But I've set up 14 of these industrial storage containers, and then I have 3 more up here, so it's 14 in total. This is 11, and then plus 3. Pretty much my plan is I'm going to build another transfer line back here, if I can get over to it, that runs along the backside of this factory. This is also this truck station isn't finished, but this is where I'm sorting all the stuff that's coming in from the other side, and this is our compact coal line. Going to go up there to another truck station to get brought over. But pretty much our plan is I'm going to work everything around to this back side of this wall, and I'm going to run smart splitters along this here. I'm going to build a little foundation. I'll go all the way to the end, and then this will be all of our industrial crates right here. So if I could just build a splitter line here, it'll run all the way down, and then any of the overflow that doesn't get sorted is going to get pushed back out to the resource sinks on the top. So it's going to be a lot, but hopefully it should be all okay. But we're gonna get into the video, and I'll let you guys know when I get an update. All right, so I pretty much took a lot of the stuff that I already placed in this area because I wasn't thinking ahead of time, but I got rid of all these lines and stuff, and I'm gonna kind of move how I'm sorting this around a little bit. I want to prioritize this, and then I can finish this off because I'm not really set in stone if I even like what I'm doing up there. But to show you guys what I got going on is I've just set up smart splitters with little left outputs to kind of put them into here. What I'm trying to do though is I'm trying to identify how much I can put on one Mark IV line. Like for example, I know we're making like 2.5 computers per minute, and then 6 heavy modular frames, so that's 8.5, and then so on and so on. I'm gonna add up to see how much I can get on this. If I could just get this all into one Mark IV line, which I know I'm not gonna be able to, but as much as I can get onto one line, the more that I can do one single line as opposed to having 14 different lines running all through the factory. And I could just sort them using this manifold technique just by having a left output, and then anything else get pushed to the center until it finds where it needs to go and then gets forced in there. And at the very end of it, it can get ran off into resourcing. It's just a matter of how much I can get on a single Mark IV line. The problem I'm running into already is going to be with these screws. The screws I have over like 900 plus being made. Just off of the iron screw production that I have, I know it's already over 900 plus whatever I have going on up top over there for the actual heavy modular frames that we're running. So that's going to require multiple lines, and probably what I'm going to do is run a single 480 line to here with an overflow, and then have everything just get sent up to the roof to get ran through a sink. I also have 300, I don't even know why I'm clicking on this, nothing in here, but it's 300 steel pipes, and then I have another like 360 wire being made. Those are the top 3 that I'm really gonna have trouble with. Those are probably gonna require their own lines. But as opposed to everything else, it's just a matter if I can hopefully make it work to where I can get everything on one single line. And it probably won't work out like that. If I have to do 2 separate sections, that's fine, but I just got to go through and check how much is being made everywhere, and then figure out what the numbers are going to be. So I'm going to go through and do all that, and then I'll be back. Quick update for the comment wall. We have the real potato said, "Oh my god, thanks so much." And then we had people who said, "Thanks." You guys are welcome. All right, for any of you guys that have been following along with this series, more specifically the big manufacturer video I did that was like 45 minutes long. If you saw this debauchery that I did, just know that I'm feeling the consequences of it now, because I need these encased industrial beams, and I need them to be merged to a single line so I can have an overflow set up, but they're not. They're merged into 3 separate lines, and it's all cramped back here, and it's bad, and this is terrible, and I'm going to redo this entire section back here, because when I was doing it, I wasn't thinking about the future. I was thinking about, oh, I want to be done with this, and just crammed all this crap in here, and now it's absolutely screwed, and now I have to deal with it. So I hate myself. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Don't ever do this. Okay, so it's not magically better. Again, I'm not saying it's any better than it was. I mean, it's a little better, but I spun these around to face the other directions, and I tore out this whole section underneath here. And now you have a merger to a merger from these 3 over here. That puts it all into one line. Your smart splitter, which has your overflow set up to the left. And then you have your priority for your encased industrial beam that's going to head over here to a splitter 3-way. That gives us this manufacturer, and these 2 will head down here and fill up these 2 over here. It's going to take a while to make sure that they're all filled up and everything's right, but that's pretty good. Now it's just a matter of closing this up and getting the rest of these hooked up to where they need to be. So right now I had to disconnect like basically all these lines to this over here. So I'm going to work on that, try to make it as pretty as possible, and then we're going to continue with the project. So I'm redoing all these lines, and I'm looking at everything, and I'm not making steel pipes for some reason. And so I come up here, and I'm like, well, it's not shut off. Like, everything's fine. But I don't have any steel ingots. Then I go over here, and everything's shut off. I don't have any coal. Because I'm in the process of swapping everything right now. It's not going to let me through this door. Let me go down to the truck station. I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is, but I gotta go look at it. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's all compacted coal. Not all of it. Some of it is. More than enough of it, and it's not going to where it needs to go. Why is it not overflowing? Do I not have an overflow set up for this? Alright, I'm like dealing with all the consequences of my actions right now, and I absolutely resent it. I hate the fact that this is going on right now. Okay, so we're gonna do a tie-in to the resource sink so we can dump this compacted coal that isn't going anywhere right now, because I got rid of that over there. Because I put my overflow at the other side of the truck station because I'm a dum-dum. We're gonna fix this problem, try to get our factory running, and then we're gonna go back to our regular project. Alright, so we're gonna have to fix this later on. Sucks, but right now it's temporarily working, which is enough for me, because I still have the overflow set up for everything else, so I really shouldn't get backed up all that much, but I just gotta keep an eye on it. This is turning into an absolute disaster right now, but it's okay. We're gonna keep moving. All we gotta do is just keep moving through it. So we're down here underneath. This is like iron rods right here. Kind of hard to tell. This is the front of the base where they have all the concrete and stuff. Like, here's the computer section, so you can kind of get an idea where we're at. This is set up right now, so we're actually getting steel pipes again. So that means that we're getting coal, which is good. So I fixed that problem for now, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. This is our merge line right here, our merge 4. We have this. We're gonna put a merger down. We'll hook all this up. And then this should actually just be all good to go. These are circuit boards that can go in there. We have our computers. And last but not least, we have our iron rods, which are a little bit higher than everything else that we have. This is tied in now, and the only thing else we need to get is our iron plates. So we should have absolutely everything running in here. So I gotta figure out how to get the iron plates down to this level, or at least into that room over there. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna check that out and see what I can figure out. Okay, so I ran it down this transfer tunnel, which is the one that's for the front of the base, which is our concrete and all the stuff that runs through here. But I ran it down here, through here, and then it ends up in this little section right here. And then it's able to merge in with the circuit boards, so we have our iron plates and everything on here. And then it goes here. We now have merged everything on this line that's going to be there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back over to our storage like place over there on the backside, and we're going to hook up the line and watch the satisfaction of all this stuff flowing in there. All right, so we hooked everything up and we were having some overflow problems, but I'm not crazy concerned with it because this is supposed to be an overflow anyway. And this is just storage right here. This is stuff that I can use and I can grab whenever I need it, just so I have it on hand, easy to get to. If stuff's getting past that, that's fine. As long as it's actually getting into here, that's what I care about. So as long as I'm getting something in here and then the rest is getting thrown away, that's all that really matters to me. So I'm not going to try to dive in here and try to mess with the belts and try to change everything, because I think I'm just going to make it worse unless I get Mark 5 belts. So I'm going to leave this alone for now and say that's good enough for me. And then we're going to start working on our second section over here, which is going to be basically everything else. Hopefully it should be a little bit easier to actually make all the lines for this stuff, because it's above everything that we're doing. Like, we're getting our modular frames and our screws and wires and everything that's above the ground level. So hopefully it should be a little bit easier, just kind of run that to the outside or even to the roof if we have to. So we're going to keep working here because we're already running out of time, and we're going to get back into it. So we're working on our second line here. Most of the stuff that we're putting on in this next section is all up in this room above us, which is our modular frames and our iron plates and all that stuff, the screws, the steel, all that stuff's up there. So the only thing I really need to get from down here is just concrete, which I ran a little overflow line right before it actually enters our encased concrete beams, or whatever you want to call them. So it's right there, and it gets parted off, moves up here through our chute, which is going to take us right up to the top by everything else. So I'm going to keep merging stuff, and I'll give you an update in a second. Okay, so we're up in that steel room with all of our assemblers and everything. I just want to show you what I'm doing. So I fixed this split. I was having like 1-to-1 here and it wasn't right, so I actually put in a split. So this is 15, doing 3 of these, and then my remainder is gonna get piped off and merged onto this wall conveyor. It's gonna run across this whole room and then gets mixed in with our concrete right here. And then we have our modular frames getting added into the mix right here, and then our reinforced plates are getting merged off right here into this, which is the merger that runs into. So everything is set up to get pulled out of this room. I'm going to change the color of this belt to white so it kind of offsets the wall and make it look a little pretty. And then I think the only thing else I need to add is the cables, which are going to be over there, which is going to be a little bit difficult to merge. But once I get that in, then we can start working on individuals. They're going to be our steel pipes, our screws, and our wires. So we're almost done with this whole project, and we're also running out of time, so I'm going to keep working, and I'll give you guys an update in a second. So I'm over here setting up the back of the storage system, and I want to show you what my problem was earlier. So I had this set to the center as any instead of overflow, so I was reading it as it was just trying to do a half and half split, which is why I was not getting the full effect. So when I put these in here now, I'm a little lookout tower and look down at it, you can see that pretty much nothing is getting pushed to the end. It's all going exactly where it needs to. So that was my problem. I was able to fix that, and now it's just a matter of setting up this other side. I'm going to run it from right there over the top of this. The other side of this wall is my copper production, so I'm going to be merging the cables in from the top of that right here, and then I'll pipe it down to here, and then that'll all be set up. I just need to set up 2 resource sinks with overflows. This one and this one, because they're running in from opposite sides. And I just have my screws, wires, and then steel pipes. So we're getting really, really close to being done here. Alright, so we've merged the entire line, and now everything's coming in. We have our cables, our concrete, our steel beams whenever they manage to get here. We have our reinforced iron plates, and then we have our modular frame. So all this should be filling up. It's just a matter of letting it do its stuff. And then I'm going to fix this, clean this up, turn this resource sink, put a second one in here, and then I need to work on this top. So I'm going to clean this up real quick, show you what I did, and then we're going to start working on the last part of this project. Okay, so we cleaned this up the best that we could. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. I'm never going to be back here. It's just a matter of making sure it's organized just a little bit so I can make adjustments and fix things if I need to. This is really glitched out. I don't know what that problem is. We're going to leave that alone. So this is all set up, and we're on to the final part now. Okay, so we were able to get everything over here. We have our wires. We have our... what are these again? Steel pipes that isn't coming through because they're trying to supply everything else. And then we have our screws coming in that are coming in very, very fast. This did not overflow all of the screws in our factory because the number's too high, and I'm gonna have to go through and change so much stuff to get it to actually properly work with an overflow, which is gonna be something I'm gonna do in my free time. Just to kind of save you the monotony dealing with this, because it could be a 20-minute episode all on its own, just be messing around with the overflow for the screws. So we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it like this. We at least have it going to the storage system, and then we're going to build our overflow lines to actually dump them down. So I'm probably going to take these out and put in 5 resource sinks along here. If I have to make the room bigger, I will. And then it's just hooking these up, and then we're going to take the last like 30 seconds or a minute here to do some designing in our storage room, and that'll be the end of the video. So let's get into it. All right, so we did a ton of work today. We set up an entire storage system, which has honestly turned out pretty good. I did put some signs to kind of make sure that I know what's what, just kind of keep it easy. I'm not sure how I feel about the blue background. I tried white, and that seemed very strong. So if you guys have any suggestion on what color I should make that, just let me know. I pretty much just marked all these, and then if you go upstairs, find it, this is marked as well. So all these are marked. It seems like the system is working properly, and everything is not running. What did I do wrong? Oh boy, what's wrong here? Oh, steel pipe, which is probably why this is running. Oh, it needs modular frames. Okay, so I gotta figure out what I did wrong because I messed something up. Okay, so it looks like I'm down because this isn't working. I'm not getting coal, and this. So I'm not getting coal, which is why I'm not getting steel pipes, and I'm not getting the modular frames because I'm not getting the rubber to run this because our truck station's disabled. So even though all the overflows are set up right, and some of them are working properly, like the concrete and the steel, which the steel is going to run out really soon here. Yeah, it's already all on standby. Okay, so I need to finish the truck station, which I'm going to see if I can get done in the next video here. But we're going to keep moving forward, try to get this factory back and running so I can see that the system is actually working properly. But all that being said, this video has been really rough. The factory is shut down and things are not going good. We're going to get all that fixed, so just stay tuned, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.